Selvi Damodaran ji, Sundar Raman ji, Ramesh ji,
all our Manikantan ji, all our office bearers of the Thinker Cell, all our leaders on the dais, our Yuva Morcha leaders on the dais. Most importantly, all of you who I will refer to as the catalysts of the political change that is happening in Tamil Nadu. Thank you all. Two, 3 days ago, when I told my office campaign team that I had to go one day to campaign in Tamil Nadu, to Coimbatore and Chennai, the immediate reaction of our office team was, your own elections are 7, 8 days away, 10 days away from today actually. We have to conclude campaign on the 24th. They said, in the middle of this, why do you want to go? My reaction to them was, to a great extent, Karnataka has already changed for the better. Every ounce of energy, every single effort, every resource must be expended to support the political revolution that is taking place in Tamil Nadu today. Which is why I am here amongst all of you. For a very long time, a lot of people in Tamil Nadu, lakhs of them, have always yearned for change, have always wanted a better alternative. But because of the lack of a credible better alternative, people have tolerated the Dravidian parties for a very long time. It is not that these political parties were coming to power, either them or this, like a ping pong match. It's not that they would come to power because of the popular vote. But they mostly came to power because people did not have a credible alternative to vote. For the very first time, people of Tamil Nadu have now been presented with a credible, viable alternative in the form of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Friends, let me tell all of you, that the whole nation and the whole world is watching all of you. The whole world's attention is on Tamil Nadu right now. Because something is brewing here. Something is happening. What that something is what is interesting, is capturing the attention of the people. While for people outside of the state, and yesterday I was watching an interview of Rajdeep Sardesai, while for many people like them, the political change may just represent a small change in the vote share or a victory in a few seats. or a few political statistics and numbers. For us who are deeply invested in the culture of this soil, for those who really care about the progress and glory and prosperity of this great land, the political change, the political revolution is not limited to few numbers. It is not statistics for us.
என் பேர் கீதா. நான் வந்து இப்போ பக்கத்தில் ஒரு பெயிண்ட் ஷாப்பில் தான் வேலை பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கேன். அந்த சம்பாதிக்கிற பணம் வந்து ஒரு செய்முறை கூட பத்தாது. மகளிர் உரிமை தொகை 1000 ரூபாய்க்கு நானும் விண்ணப்பிச்சேன். 1000 ரூபாய் வந்து கிரெடிட் ஆயிடுச்சு. அது எனக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருந்துச்சு. அதை வந்து என் குழந்தைங்க பேரில் 500 ரூபாய் போட்டு நான் இப்போ வரைக்கும் சேமிச்சு வச்சிட்டு இருக்கேன். இந்த 1000 ரூபாய் கொடுத்ததுக்கு கவர்மெண்ட்டுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி.
இந்தியாவை காக்க ஸ்டாலின் அழைக்கிறேன்.
VLCC सनस्क्रीन, जहां साधारण सनस्क्रीन स्वेट से धुल जाते हैं, ये एक्सट्रीम सन और स्वेट में भी UV रेज से प्रोटेक्ट करता रहे. VLCC सनस्क्रीन फॉर लॉन्गर लास्टिंग प्रोटेक्शन.
All those who will try to tell you that change is not happening, for all those who are skeptical of the change, let me reassure all of you that the change has long ago begun. And on the 4th of June, we will officially be seeing an acknowledgement of the electoral change, and that day will mark the beginning of a new political chapter in the history of Tamil Nadu. Now, why do we need this? Why do we need this? For this audience, I do not need to convince why we need change. Like I said in the very beginning of the address, all of you are the catalysts of change. You are the ones who are actually voting for, bringing, orchestrating the change. I have one grouse though. Therefore, I don't want to, use my speech time on trying to tell you the achievements of the Modi government. I don't want to make use of my speech time to tell you the sins of the Congress party. I do not want to waste time explaining to you further on why the DMK is not a political party, but it is a criminal syndicate. Because all of you very well know what they are. You also know what the change is and who the change is. But I want to spend a few minutes imploring before you and through you to people like you who are fairly financially independent, who are independent thinkers, whose votes cannot be bought through financial inducement or by giving you a pressure cooker or microwave or a scooty or gold chain or a plate of biryani. Or liquor or a quarter bottle. Neither can you be influenced by promise of an immediate freebie, nor will you buy the propaganda of the DMK troll army. You are what is called the intelligentsia of a society. But there is one problem with people like us, people like you. Please do not take it personally. This is as a class I am telling. Through the year, we attend programs, observe important celebrations. We attend program like this on a Friday evening. We applaud with so much of enthusiasm. But on the day of the voting, we are somehow missing at the polling booths. I personally have a very, very serious angst against this. Like you all know, I represent a constituency called Bengaluru South. One of the most enlightened constituencies in Bengaluru. It is the blessings of the elders, blessings of the party leaders, my own Purva Janma Punya that I get to represent a constituency like that. But do you know what was the polling percentage in Bengaluru South in the last elections? 53%. 53%. And I don't think the numbers are any better here, say in South Chennai or Central Chennai. This is the biggest grouse of democracy. My request to you all is very simple. Your vote matters. If you are not voting, somebody else is voting and somebody else's vote is getting mattered. Friends, as a young political activist, the more I reflect upon this low voting percentage, the more I realize that this is the root cause of a lot of evils. Let me explain to you threadbare how this is the root of a lot of evils. Because you don't vote, and because your vote cannot be purchased, certain political parties try to buy votes of people who are less privileged than what you are. I do not blame them at all because they are less privileged. So they vote in a particular manner influenced by certain pecuniary or other interests. This makes elections prohibitively expensive. So for a seat, whether it's an assembly seat or a parliament seat, parties like the DMK will spend something like a 50-60 crore on an MLA seat. They will spend upwards of 100 crore on an MP seat. Whose money is this? Do you really think if somebody has honestly earned their money, they will distribute money like the way they distribute pamphlets? This is liquor mafia money. This is drug mafia money. This is money that is looted from your tax-paid money. So who suffers? You suffer. All because you did not vote in big numbers. So now the contractor gets a contract to build a road with 6 inches of tar. Because he will have to sustain the political economy and contribute to the political economy, he will be encouraged to put a 3 meters of tar, 3 inches of tar. So the road that is supposed to sustain and last for 3 monsoons will not even last 1 monsoon. And every political party will be waiting for a crisis to happen. Because crisis means more immediate money. Look at the Chennai floods, for instance. How many special packages have been given to make Chennai flood proof? But even then, every time there is rainfall, Chennai gets inundated. So there is another flood and then there is another special package. The special package never goes to your house. The special package is never seen on the street. The special package as it is specially goes to the DMK leaders' homes. This is a cycle. This is a cycle. So not turning up at voting booths on the day of the poll is not just contributing to corruption and bad governance, it is also directly affecting your quality of life. It doesn't stop there. You know what happens next? Because a few already incumbent individuals are making moolah from the system, young people with common background can never aspire to contest and win elections. Because elections have become a prohibitively expensive affair. So what happens as a result of that? Dynasty politics perpetuates. Because you are now forced to spend 50 to 60 crore for an MLA election. Can any one of you sitting in the audience here confidently raise your hands and say that you have 60 crore cash ready to fight an election tomorrow? 99% of the society will not have. 99.9 will not have. The 0.1% that will have are the ones who would have inherited both the financial as well as the political legacy of their fathers. Which is why you will have a Udayanidhi Stalin who will contest from Thousand Lights. Despite thousands of more capable young people who are better in communication, better in sincerity, better in administration, better in the sincerity, none of that will matter because he will have 50 crores, 100 crores to spend, burn that money. How will you fight dynasty politics if good people like you do not turn out in vote and vote on the polling day? How will we fight them? The own to money power is people's power. The only antidote to money power is people's power. But unfortunately, we are a disorganized lot. Unfortunately, we are a disorganized lot. You know, even in political parties, if a Karyakarta is working for the party for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, pasting posters, buntings, banners, organizing programs, this, that, sacrificing his family time, getting jailed, doing this at great personal cost. When election comes, the question the party leadership will ask you in most of these political parties is, how much money can you spend in elections? So because this guy will not have the financial muscle to spend during elections, somebody who can bring that kind of wealth will get the party ticket. And the next day, invariably that guy will be a son or a daughter of one of the ministers or the sitting chief minister. So the very next day, this guy who has worked for 8 years, 10 years for whatever party will have to hold a flag in his hand and go do Jai Jaikar for this fellow. It is killing merit. It is killing talent. It is a glass ceiling for young people to enter politics. Which is why from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, you see political families operating like feudal lords at all different levels. If this has to change, we have our winning candidate from Central Chennai, Vinod Selvam, amongst us. A huge round of applause to Vinoj. I have had the privilege of working with Vinoj in the Yuva Morcha over the last few years. When I was working in Karnataka's Yuva Morcha unit, Vinoj was one of the most hard-working, best-performing state presidents of the Yuva Morcha in all of India. After I became the national president of the Yuva Morcha, whenever we needed some big work to happen, somebody to take some big responsibility, the first person on my dial list was Vinoj, because he never shied away from taking responsibility for the party. If today Dayanidhi Maran is running helter-skelter, if he is giving a run for his money, it shows the kind of groundwork, the kind of popularity that Vinoj has earned through his hard work, through his dedication over the last few years. I was telling you earlier about why you must all come out and vote. Before you came, Vinoj, I was telling them that despite my elections being just 10 days away, and despite Congress fielding the daughter of a 8-time MLA, 3-time minister and a sitting transport minister in my own seat, and despite Congress spending crores and crores of rupees in my own seat, the reason why I have come here today to campaign for you, to campaign for Annamalai, and why I had come even earlier when you contested each time, even in your earlier Vidhan Sabha elections, is because to me, Vinod Selvam, Annamalai are not just people, they represent an idea. They represent an idea. Annamalai's victory, Vinod's victory, is a victory of democracy. It's a victory of young people meritoriously coming up the ranks and winning. It is this idea that wins. Even this morning, while addressing the first-time voters in Coimbatore, my request to them was this. If you want the glass ceilings to be broken, if you want political opportunities to become more flat and more meritorious and more available for everybody, if it has to be a level playing field, then one amongst us should win. And one amongst us is Vinoj, one amongst us is Annamalai. I have tried to tell you how the very root cause of all of these ills that are plaguing the system is us not effectively participating. This indifference that we have to polls, this indifference that we have towards elections. I keep telling this often. We may choose to not be interested and participate in politics and the processes of politics, but we do not have a choice to not be affected by the outcome of politics. From the petrol that you fill in your bike, to the kind of syllabus that you read in your textbooks, to the rate of the bhaji bonda that you eat at the outside street, corner shop, to the kind of job opportunities that your son or daughter will get once they pass out of college, every single aspect of society is determined by the outcome of politics. So if you are indifferent to it, it is going to come and haunt you. If you do not show seriousness in its process, then you will be the loser. My final message to you all is this. For a very, very long time, Tamil Nadu BJP was in need of a leader like Annamalai. And from the time of his days as a cop in Bengaluru, he was the DCP of Bengaluru South, exactly at the time when I faced elections 5 years ago. I have seen him from very close quarters the last few years. There are so many qualities of him that has been discussed. He's a great communicator, an organizer, a charismatic leader, so many things. But there is one quality of him that makes him the most special to me. That is Annamalai's sincerity. He is a very, very genuine, a very sincere person. You will not get a leader like him for this cause for another few decades. So every ounce of energy that we have, every kind of support we can offer, we must give it to him and rally behind him. This is my request to you. And for young people like Vinoj, do you think life is easy? The reason why I have tremendous respect for him is because he could have made easier choices. Which political party would not want a leader like Vinoj in their ranks? Which political party would not? They will welcome him with open arms. I was talking to our friend Amar Prasad Reddy today. The guy is being targeted, vindicted every single day. To organize a program, this Thinker Cell program, our Karyakartas had to go to the High Court before the Chief Justice bench. Every step of the way we are fighting. In the hot sun, for hours together, people like Vinoj campaign outside. They hardly get to spend any time with their family. They hardly get to take a day off. Whether it was the floods, he was there on the ground. Whether it is any other program, Vinoj is on the ground. And imagine, without being in power, without holding any public office, how hard it is to kind of arrange resources to run this operation. Still they are doing it. Still they are doing it. They could have easily chosen to join DMK. They could have easily chosen to join ADMK. But the fact that they have not chosen and are still continuing the long fight means you all must support them in big numbers. My only request to you is this today. Only request. On the 19th of April, Central Chennai constituency must register its highest ever polling percentage in history. I understand that earlier you may have felt that your vote to the BJP will not make much of a difference. Perhaps that could have been a reason for you to not enthusiastically come out and vote. Because I've spoken to so many of my friends here. They said, sir, we want to vote for BJP, but we are not keen to vote because we know the result. Our vote will not make a difference. Perhaps that was the reason why you showed some indifference. But write it today when I'm saying this. When you go out and vote this time, you will be voting for the winning candidate. Let me also tell you that each of your vote matters. Each of your vote matters. You may have followed my social media to know that in the Vidhan Sabha elections last year in Bengaluru, we won a seat called Jayanagar with 16 votes. 16 votes. I saw that very day our Karyakartas go climbing 3 stairs, 3 floors, 4 floors, bring senior citizens on wheelchairs, transport them to the polling station. Like this, every single person's vote was polled that day. And we won the election by just 16 votes. That shows that your vote matters. Your vote matters. One of the journalists was asking me in the interaction below, how will having a BJP MP in Chennai make things different for people of Chennai? Won't the central government support and give support to Chennai if there are not BJP MPs? I will just conclude by sharing with you the answer I gave him. The central government will indeed support all states, every city, every constituency, irrespective of who is in power there. That is the commitment of Narendra Modi. But is your MP from the DMK really concerned about your welfare? That is the question you must be asking. 5 years ago, when people of Bengaluru elected me, there were a few legacy issues that were pending. From 40 years, Bengaluru was demanding a suburban rail project. So many chief ministers and prime ministers have come and gone in 40 years. But Bengaluru had not got the suburban rail. It was in the last 5 years that Bengaluru got approval for the suburban rail project at a 17,800 crores. A BJP MP makes a difference. From the time of S.M. Krishna's chief ministership in Bengaluru, our city had a demand to open a US consulate in Bengaluru. Because each time somebody had to get a visa stamping, they had to either come to Chennai or Hyderabad or Kolkata or Delhi. And a city as big as Bengaluru deserved to get a US consulate. It was pending from 25 years. I pursued for 2 years, and last year when Modi ji went to US, he got a US consulate approved for Bengaluru. A BJP MP makes a difference. In 2014, Bengaluru city had just 7 kilometers of metro coverage. Today, Bengaluru has 78 kilometers of operational metro. 8 lakh people travel in metro every day. And just in the last 5 years, we have got additional approval for another 75 kilometers of metro line. a BJP MP makes a difference. In 2019, my constituency had 14 Jan Aushadhi Kendras, which is generic medicine stores which sell medicines at 70% discounted rate. Our constituency had 14 Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Today we have 132 Jan Aushadhi Kendras operating. 2 lakh people buy medicines from these stores. BJP MP makes a difference. Jan Aushadhi Kendras. I don't think all of Chennai put together has 132 Jan Aushadhi Kendras. Elect Vinod. In 3 months you will have 150 Jan Aushadhi Kendras catering to you. Elect Vinod. And the slow pace of metro construction in Chennai that is causing so much of trouble for all of you to commute throughout the city, he will put an end to it and bring expeditious clearances for metro projects. Elect Vinod, he will speak for you, your family, your interests in the parliament, not to protect the DMK family's interests. This April 19th is not a holiday. This April 19th is not a day where you sit at home, watch Netflix or Amazon Prime and watch the latest web series. This April 19th is the day that we will collectively be deciding the future of the country, the leadership of the country, and most importantly, it will be the day that all of you will be igniting the political revolution that is long pending in Tamil Nadu. Wishing all of you the very best and hoping to see Vinod sit next to me in the parliament in Delhi as your voice and as your representative. I thank you all for turning up today in these big numbers and giving Vinod your unconditional support. Bharat Mata Ki, Bharat Mata Ki, Vande, Vande, Namaskar.
Thank you so much, Anna. Please give a huge round of applause before I invite Vinod Chellam sir. The winners of the quiz may please quickly come to the stage. Pranav Sri Krishna, please come to the stage, please fast. Vijay Kumar A, Akash K,